Welcome, everybody, to the Top Speed Racing League. I sound like a robot right now, and I don't know why. Um, I'm joined once again by the one and only Squisher.
Yep, back from a nice little vacay.
Must
Feeling
be nice. Tingle Nut, freaking.
well.
I messaged you throughout, a few days, and you're just like, I'm gonna leave him on red.
Oh, I don't even have my work email attached to my phone. I'm
uh,
gonna have a bombardment of emails when I walk in on Monday.
well, I mean, that happens. You never know. So, anyway, here we are for qualifying number one. We are back after a little bit of a, you know, um, what's that word called again? Brain fart
Technical
last week. By
difficulties,
the way, did
EA doing stuff.
anybody lead the session? I didn't see before we went in. Did you see anybody lead the session, or are we all good?
Um, I see 17 here,
That's fine. That's what we should have.
so yeah,
All right.
should be okay. I didn't see anyone leave.
Anyway, here we go. Who are we looking? Hello.
Goose deciding, nah, no quali for me.
Goose just wants to relax. Fabri's over here probably like, yeah, I'm gonna relax. We do have, um, 4 reserves today, which is the most that we've seen in God knows how long. We have, BTA Andy reserving for the Alpine, as he also calls it quits. As I mentioned his name, thank you, Andy. Now you made me look like a complete and utter you know what.
Well, he's probably going to make breakfast. I think there were inklings in the Discord about that.
Breakfast.
Yeah, good old breakfast.
Breakfast. I'm weak. Alright, who else do we got? We got Corky here in the Williams reserving for Monk, who is sitting out this race. We also got Mr. Glitchy sitting in for Alpine. Both Alpine drivers missing out today. Hopefully they show up. Hopefully the reserves show up today. We also got a familiar face in Mr. King Herbs. This time, he's not. This time though, he's not in the Alpine. He's
And
in the Ferrari.
he must really be seething at the fact that he's in a Ferrari instead of a Red Bull. But you get
Probably.
what you get.
Yeah, probably. We will have 18 drivers here shortly. We have a driver running late, so he will be starting at the back of the pack, unfortunately. But yeah. Who is the favorite for today? Would you say Swish as as final laps begin now?
Well, it is very hard to tell because there is a lot of good drivers on this lineup here. I am still looking at the McLarens though, as they have been outright dominating this season so far, currently holding the top two spots heading into this race.
That's that is very, very, very true. McLaren has been showing up right now. So on here it has cloud. So on my screen it has cloud at 150 points. He actually has 153. I have to change that. Here, I can do that right now. Actually, I can just change that real quick. But yeah, Cloud sits currently as your driver's championship leader with 153 points. He is yeah, 23 points clear of his teammate, as you mentioned, McLaren, showing up this year. And I'll have you run down the rest of the grid.
All right, moving on down the grid. In the P3 position in the Alfa Romeo, we do have Ritzy at 108 points. Has been really bringing in the wins for Alfa Romeo, and he's been climbing up the boards because of it. As Corky sets a 135.3 to start us off here. Moving on down the list, we do have Abulado at 103 points with a race win under his belt. He's looking to keep himself in the top ranks there and bring the Red Bull up. Moving on from there to finish out our top five is Eggnog and the Aston Martin at 64 points,
There's
currently tied with Goose
there's your
in
updated
the
standings.
Alpine.
There's your updated standard. There's squish. I posted them just now. But continue.
Or the AlphaTauri is actually what he is. Oh, sorry, as I was saying, Goose is actually the AlphaTauri, not the Alpine. I don't know, little slip of the tongue there.
Mm.
But they are currently tied at 64 points. And then we have the two Haas's back to back. Truly on 62 and OC Remix on 37.
And Remix, and like I said, Remix will be joining us later on. Squish seeing the times right now flying in. Who's on a lap
Ritzy
right
currently
now?
now at the top at a 133.6. I'm sorry, I've been a little distracted looking at the standings here.
Yep, I'm gonna. I had the updated standings real quick. I will post them real quick with the accurate driver lineup. There we go. Ignore that other one. There we go. There you go. You're all good. Continue.
Okay. This update top eight's still the same. Nothing's really changed there. We have Gwenfro in P9 and the Ferrari on 36. And rounding out our top 10 is going to be Monk and the Williams on 35 points.
Yep. Streamer maybe. Yes, this is a league race. This is the Excite Racing League's partners over at Top Speed Racing League. They have their 8th round live right now around the Shanghai International Circuit.
One of the greatest circuits, let me tell you.
Never again do that voice. I will actually.
Yeah,
I will actually end you. I will actually end you. We have a car around. Who was that? That's Killer. Who's caught? And the left-hander of death here around Shanghai has claimed its first driver.
And it really makes you wonder with some of these other tight turns who is going to fall victim to them, especially in turn one. That's harsh 270-degree right-hander
Okay,
to go
Mr.
straight into a left-hander.
Okay, Mr. Track Facts here. As Click C invalidates yet again. We see Gwenfro here making way for Lexter. Lexter in the AlphaTauri. Now, in case you guys missed it last week, classic EA happened last week where the lobby to put it in nice words pooped itself royally.
It got put out to pasture.
It royally pooped itself. So hopefully things run well today. Hopefully we have no, server bugs or server issues. Got a yellow flag in the first sector. Lexter's looks like he's doing half decent this lap on the mediums.
It struggled a bit in that last turn there.
Sector 2 is only a 53-second lap time so far, so not the best by the AlphaTauri driver. I'm also, I don't know how I'm awake still. I'm over here, running on fumes. I haven't eaten today. It's probably a bad idea.
That is a very bad idea, my friend.
Shut up. Yellow flag in the second sector. Who is that going snail pace? I believe that is Corky, who's out of fuel.
That is Corky.
He's on low fuel mode as Lexer puts in a 135.1, goes P6 overall, currently in Q1. Gwenfro starting a lap here in the Ferrari. Let's go on board with the Ferrari driver, shall we?
Looks like he's handling the first sector pretty decently so far. Let's see what that first sector time is here in a bit. It's a 24.9.
Struggling. I can tell he's struggling. got off the power a lot there. Gonna get blocked by a Mercedes. That was close to being catastrophic for him. Who was that in the way? That was Xander.
And that will cost him a significant amount of time there.
Will that might also be a report on Xander for being on the racing line when a car's on his flying lap. So a naughty moment done by Xander here in Q1.
Meanwhile, Ritzy setting a higher standard for that pole position currently at a 133.5.
Ritzy needs to start showing up. He needs to somehow catch up to the McLaren duo.
The race wins are definitely helping him in that regard, though.
They are, but like I said, like you mentioned, McLaren, they're proving themselves right now worthy, as Gwenfro did with that little mishap, still goes fourth with a 134.9. Now we look at Gwenfro's new teammate, making his, it's technically his, this is his full-time debut. Urban Growth in the Alfa Romeo almost loses the car in the left-handed kink. I said Gwenfro, right? Ritzy's new teammate.
I was getting a little confused there.
Snaky. I can get you in. I can try to get you in. Just know that whatever team you get, your points will count for your original team. But next time you need to get in the lobby a little bit quicker, okay? I need you to be online though. So whenever you're online, let me know.
Star rounds the final corner, improves up to P9 with a 138.3.
Yeah, Snaky will start at the back along with Remix. So we're gonna have some fast areas in the front and some fast at the back. So Urban Growth, he got put on Alfa Romeo because we asked in the Discord server, hey, with the reserves, we asked, hey, if you want a seat, message us quick, and he was the first one to pop up messaging, I want a seat.
Speaking of Urban Growth, currently making his way through Sector 2 here.
Is so
He's
far.
about to finish it up here.
He's gonna have a tow. Does get a tow. 53.2 for the Alfa Romeo. Looking good so far. Well, streamer, it's up to us. It's up to me and the other admins to see if you get a seat or not.
And Killer gets spun around in that massive turn 1.
Urban Growth finishing his lap here, comes around the final corner, does have an Alpine in front of him. Is that an Alpine in front of him? I can't tell. Yeah, it is. It's glitchy going to P9. Urban Growth, P3, 134.3. So WRL Urban Growth.
And early on, you are seeing the Alfa Romeos showing up in this qualifying session. Killer still struggling there in the McLaren.
Taylor needs to get a lap here because like you mentioned, struggling early on. 4.5 minutes left to play here in Q1. Still waiting for times from Clixie. Still waiting for times from an actual decent time from King Herbs, who by the way did his lap on the intermediate tires. Fun fact.
Right.
He's sitting P12, but like you mentioned, the driver currently second in the standings is struggling. here around China as he brings it into the pits. He's gonna have to get those tires. He's gonna have to get this car refueled and come back out in a hurry. He might not even. He might be knocked out. Actually, no, wait, no, no, he won't. He'll be safe, barely. But you know what I mean. Meanwhile, any drivers on a sitting on lap right now? Got Clixie going through turns 1 and turns 2. Car looks very dirty, so he had a bit of a excursion off track as Killer calls it quit. He's had enough of Q1.
They just had enough of qualifying altogether, probably.
You think that? I think that this corner right here, where Clixie's at right now, is what's caused Killer as Clixie goes super wide. It's gonna hurt him through here. Really twitchy with the steering. Killer saying that he has zero traction whatsoever. So could this be the day that Alfa Romeo gains some points on McLaren?
This will definitely be
almost invalidated
one
down
to
the
see.
Clixie almost invalidated down the straight. Yellow flag in sectors 1 and in sector 2. Who's that around? That's Xander. Gets back going again. Clixie rounds the hairpin. On the power. Up to 4th. Now 5th. Comes to the final corner. Will he invalidate or will he stay valid? He stays valid. This could be a good lap by Clixie. Crosses the line. It's P10 for the Red Bull of Clixie.
And he just calls it right then and there.
And he retires on track. Now, Clixie, that is a warning for you. You cannot retire on track like that, my friend. If you're going to retire, retire in the pits. That is your one and only warning for today. Meanwhile, King Herbs on track now. In the Ferrari. I love his helmet. Don't you?
Oh yeah, that helmet does look very nice.
The red, white, and blue helmet. I mentioned it last week around Bahrain, and then, we had the whole server issue. Alright, let's watch the Ferrari of King Herbs. Enters turn 1 and turn 2. Looking good so far. Want to hug the apex here for this left-hander around turn 2. Does well. Back on the power. Where is he? There he is. Works his way towards through sector 1 to 24.6. Very good first sector by the Ferrari man. Very good exit out of the hairpin. Now,
currently up quite a bit on his time.
The dreaded left-hander here around China. He took it very well. I mean, he will be improving because, like I said, his first lap was on intermediates. So this is his first true colors to see where he stands amongst everybody else. Sector 2 time. 52.8. If he can keep this pace up, he'll be up there, probably the top 5, maybe even around his teammate. Do not run wide here, as we see the rear suspension of the Ferrari. Lovely. DRS flap. Open. King Herbs roars down this long back straight around China. Enters the hairpin. One final corner to go. Don't run wide. Which he does not. King Herbs puts it P2 with the 33.7.
And what a phenomenal lap from King Herbs here.
Now,
really showing just how much power he can get in that Ferrari.
Very true here. And that looks like to be the end of Q1. It is the end of Q1. And for the first time this season, I believe, this is the first time this season, I think that this is the first time that both Mercedes drivers are in Q2. I think this is the first time.
Yeah, Ritzy did set a 33.5.
I mean, it's just Q1. You just want to set a lap time, you know? You don't really want to push the limit, you know? You don't want to force the issue in Q1 because then you can, you know, you can spin out and then, you know, you might pop a tire or something like that. Who knows what'll happen. But yes, that is the end of qualifying number 1. Ritzy leads the way with a 33.5 as Lone Star is finishing up here. Lone Star, cross the line, please. Don't go in the pits. Just cross the line. Ah.
And he's going to the pits.
Why, Lone Star? Why? Why you do this? Why you do this, Lone Star? Why you do this? All right. Failure. We will try to get you in next race, buddy, okay? I will post the confirmation up for next race later on this week, and depends on if you mark down your reserve attendance quick or not. We'll decide if you get a seat or not for reserves. Anyway, Squish, run through the grid real quick from qualifying 1.
Well, with qualifying 1 finishing up, we see Ritzy here at the top with a 33.5. King Herbs in second with a 33.7, followed by Cloud in a 33.9. Then he gets to 34s with Urban at 34.3.
Just go over the positions.
I'm just going to go over the rest of these now. There's Abelardo, Southern, Gwenfro, Truly, Lexter. Then you get Pyro, Clixie, Lone Star, P12, Xander, then Glitchy, Killer making it through just barely with the 3 that we'll be losing here. Snaky, Goose, and Andy, all of whom weren't able to set times in this one, or just decided not to.
Yep. Down to the final 15 drivers for down to the final 15 drivers here for the Chinese qualifying as Killer says, nah, I will just start P15.
I think Killer was hoping he'd be out in the first qualifying session. When he saw he moved on, he's like, oh no.
Killer wants no part of this.
Currently have both Mercedes jumping out early here.
Mercedes do need some momentum on their side.
As Xander is currently leading the charge here on the outlaps.
Also got, looks like Urban's out on track, so is Truly, so is Abelardo, so is King Herbs. Looks like that's Pyro coming out of the pits. It is. Killer's left the session, restarting his Wi-Fi. Killer, whenever you're ready, let me know.
And everyone's slowly starting to get out on track here.
So who's your dark horse today? Like, who's a driver that you normally don't see really like succeed lately, but will have a good race today?
That is a very good question here. I think with everything we've seen so far, I think my dark horse is going to be Gwenfro.
That could be a shout.
Like, he showed up for that first qualifying session. He does fairly well, but the results just haven't been going in his favor. I feel like he is really looking to put up a fight here.
We're gonna see if he can put up a fight or not as the flying laps now begin. It's gonna be actually, yeah, it's gonna be Xander setting the pace here early on in Q2. Looking very tidy through turns 1 and turn 2. Gets on the power. Does have a heap of cars behind him though. 24-6. Does not get beat actually. I think Urban Growth might have backed out of it. Did he back out of it? No, he's still flying. Yellow flag in sector 1. Tell you what though, Xander here looking tidy. 53-4. It's gonna get beat. 53-1 for Urban Growth. So Urban Growth has the advantage so far. Yellow flag in sector 3, and Xander's turning around in the way. You gotta wait. Don't want to get in the way. Xander's not clear yet. Still not clear. Want to get moving though a little bit, I think. He's clear now to go.
Can't be sitting on the track for too long.
Urban Growth will be the first car to set a time here. Urban Growth has Truly behind him. They both round the final corners. Urban Growth, 34-3, 33-1 for Truly. 33-9 for Mr. Abulato. King Herbs, 34-5. Yeah, that's a definite use set of softs. Yellow flags in sector 2. That's Clixie. The corner of death has claimed yet another.
Pyro sitting at 135.4, heading into P5 here.
Glitchy now, about to finish his lap. He's out of battery though, so he's gonna be slow to cross the line here. Goes mega wide out of the final corner. And is definitely slowest of all with a 37.8. Taking a look now at Southern. Ritzy behind him.
Looks like Killer is ready to get back in if we can get him an invite.
I will get you
I'll keep eye on Southern.
Thank you, sir. I will invite you now, Mr. Killer AU.
Southern heading towards the final turn here.
I need to add your next
Where
box.
will this time be at? That's a 34-7, jumping him into P5. And now Ritzy slowly following behind. 35-4.
Sent you an invite, Killer. A lot of drivers struggling here to find any bit of pace. There's Killer. Alright, I gotta order food. I'm starving. I don't know what to get.
Meanwhile, we've got... I'd say just grab a few different places and then just eat, meeny, miny, mow it.
Manchu Walk, Subway, Arby's, or Popeyes. Remix saying, I'll do the last to first challenge. My man OC Remix, do you want an invite to this session, good sir?
Urban on saying they were old softs.
Urban
got more pace to come.
Urban Growth is putting a challenge on there.
As Abulato has called it quits for this session.
Clixie
jumping into P2 with the 33.9.
Clixie again invalidates. Meanwhile, Gwenford's at a 24.8. What do I get for food? I need help. Chat, help me. I need help. Your boy has not eaten today. Your boy is down to either Manchu Wok, which is Chinese, Subway, Popeyes, or Arby's. Help. Your boy's starving. Of course, Remix says Subway, bro.
Oh man, he wants you to eat fresh. That's all this. If he do something healthy, eat fresh.
Shut your trap, Squish. Man said freaking wants you to eat fresh. Boy, shut your mouth.
I mean, that's after he just said do something healthy. Am I wrong, though?
Southern says Popeye's chicken sandwich. What the heck is that emoji? Where is that emote? Squid. Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm not wrong. Boy, if you don't, boy,
For having
remix,
the final quarter.
remix. Who said it? Remix. Hey, hello.
Gwenfro, P2 with a 33.9.
Ferrari. What's in your car?
Ferrari.
Okay, so the man on track on screen right now, right? He said, and I quote, "They were old softs. There's more pace to come. No pressure."
Okay, King Herbs. Okay. Okay.
Hey, yo, relax. Relax, King Herbs. As my friend,
But
as my friend, lawyer would say.
Clixie jumping into P9 with a 35.7.
Alright, back to what I was trying to say before King Herb said his statement. We had a comment in the chat that said, "They were old softs, there's more pace to come." Right? No pressure, Mr. Urban Growth. You're on screen right now.
Meanwhile, Xander setting a 35.3, and then Lexter jumping into P2 with a 33.6.
So Truly's time is definitely on brand new softs.
And he has decided, I'm good for this qualifying session, as we still have Cloud and Lone Star yet to set times.
I'm gonna keep an eye on Urban Growth here. What do you say, chat? Should we go on board with the man that said I've got more pace to come on a quiet lap with the Alfa Romeo driver? I think we should, right, Squish? On a quiet lap with him? Let's go on board for a quiet lap with Urban Growth. Well,
That didn't last long.
nope. Sure didn't. Cloud.
And he has retired from the session.
Mama, Cloud set out 33 flat.
Right. As Gwenfro retired from session, calling it quits as well. 4 minutes left.
Remix has called out Cloud, saying Cloud is slow.
OC Remix really putting up a bargain here.
Meanwhile, Lone Star here finishing up his lap in the Mercedes driver, currently sitting P14 with a 157 with a 157 flat. Has to somehow get in the 135 to have a chance of advancing. Comes across the line, and he's P9 with a 135.3.
And you know, Mercedes really putting in a fight today.
225 what, King Herbs? Hello, Kirko. $225 what? You're running. There's no way that you're running 225 wings.
$225 on China. That's does
I was
not
gonna.
sound right
I was.
at all.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I was gonna say, if you're running 225 wings, may God have mercy on your soul, bro.
After that long straightaway, you are just flying into the barrier.
This This man, bro, literally said, this man literally said, yeah, I have massive understeer in every corner. Yeah? Yeah? What do you mean?
Well, back
What
on
does
board
remake?
with Urban here.
Remake says invite Subway. What? What? Yeah, Urban's out of battery.
Uh,
Oh, invite you. Look, I've been up. Look, I've been up since 2:30 in the morning. Okay. Leave me alone. Damn you. Urban growth stays where he is.
the 33,978, in spite of having not much battery to go off of,
Um,
still improving on that time.
absolute flyer alert. As Southern
From
goes
Southern,
P3. No, absolute flyer alert. Alert again. There's a man roaring down the back straight, entering the hairpin.
is this a cross-play league?
Yes. Like I said,
And
flyer alert. Like I said, flyer alert.
Sorry, had a little bit of a
Little bit of a brain fart, we know.
yes.
Remix. Get your tail back in here. Who was that around? That was Xander. Xander, you can't retire on Xander. That is your one and final warning as well. You cannot retire on the track. We
No,
said
I
it.
don't think he was the only one.
The Clixie.
I thought I saw another dot out there that retired.
I think it was a Red Bull Clixie. You're very close to getting told off, buddy. Do not retire on the track again, please.
As King Herbs invalidates his lap time, he will stay in that P9 position unless Glitchy can improve. Which,
He's not. He's
nope, never
invalidated.
mind. He's also invalidated.
And for the second, well, quote unquote, the second straight race in a row, or for the second time this season, I should say. Wait, is it second time? Is it second race in a row? Cause we canceled last week. So technically,
Technically, with Bahrain canceled last week,
yes,
that would make this second in the row, yeah.
for the second straight race in a row, the man on your screen is in the Q3.
Putting Mercedes on his back right now.
Welcome to Q3. Once again, Mr. Lone Star. And this time, I didn't jinx him. Yeah.
Meanwhile, we just have Glitchy here having a little bit of
Glitchy,
fun.
please cross the line. I beg.
King Herb saying he invalidated avoiding
No!
Xander,
I
who
said cross
spun.
the line, you... No one listens to me. No one listens to me.
Oh, as that is happening.
It is. Alright, as we head into Q3, once again, it is... Whoa. Yep. As we head into Q3, we say goodbye to Xander, we say goodbye to Corky, say goodbye to Clixie, say goodbye to Glitchy, and we say goodbye to Killer AU. After qualifying number 2, Ritzy leads the way with a 32.7. I will be right back for the start of Q3. You're watching Top Speed Racing League.
Why do you make it sound like you went to commercial there? Oh, I guess it's because he actually left. Anywho, as you currently see here, moving on into the final qualifying session, you have two Ferraris, two Alfa Romeos, a Red Bull, AlphaTauri, an Aston Martin, a Haas, and a Mercedes, making it through to Q3.
That moment where I say I'll be right back and Squish still talks.
Oh yeah, you tried to make it sound like we were going to commercial. What is this, Fox?
Yes. Look, I do what I want, okay? Leave me alone. Anyway, chat. Those of you watching, put it in the chat right now. Predictions. Who gets pole?
Let's make those early predictions now.
Remix says Ritzy. Who's the first car out on track? It's gonna be Ritzy, like Remix said. Also, guys, if you want to follow a driver, just let me know who you want to follow, and I will put them on the screen. Pick a driver that you guys want to watch. Who do you want to watch this from on this first opening lap, Squish?
Well, I'd say Ritzy would be a good starting candidate for this, as he will be the first one to give us the flying lap times. He's going to be setting the standard.
He will. I'm curious to see what Urban Growth has in store. Also curious to see how King Herbs does.
There's a lot of good drivers still in this qualifying session.
You've got the best 10. And we have a car around. God darn it, I keep opening my mouth. Something happens.
That was Abulado around in the Red Bull.
Oh, Richie had a massive moment out of the last corner.
That will not deter him here.
It's gonna hurt his. Oh, it's gonna hurt him a little bit because of that massive moment, but we'll see what he can do here. 24.8 compared to a 24.5. Advantage right now to Cloud by 0.3 of a second. Staying on board here with Ritzy.
Needing to make up a lot of time now.
It just comes to show that one little moment can ruin a lap. Ritzy, 53 flat. The Cloud, 52.8, 8/10 clear. This McLaren is on a heater. Keep an eye on those times, because we could be seeing a big gap between Ritzy and Cloud. Is he on old sauce? No, he's not. That's fresh. He comes in.
And Cloud
Cloud!
starting us off here.
32-6. Who's next? It's gonna be King Herbs. He won't dethrone him. He's 1.3 seconds off of the best time. Next driver will be Lone Star on the medium compound tires. As Southern 33.7 goes P2. Here comes Lone Star on the mediums. 36.8. Now looking at Urban Growth. Can he possibly challenge 33.2? He's 0.6 off that hash. Now I know that Urban Growth is definitely unused. Abelardo's next across the line. He's gonna set up 33.5, goes P3. Now Truly, last car to set a time here besides Gwenfro. Rounds the final corner, puts the power down, crosses the line, 32.8. So it's technically game on for P1. Cloud's not out of the woods just yet. Lexter now, starting his lap. Gwenfro starts his appropriate, quote-unquote, flying lap.
Going for a proper time there now.
Question is, who has the pace? 24.4 for Lexter through that first sector. Was 0.2 slower.
24.6 for Gwenfro.
Gwenfro's 0.4 off of what Cloud ran. Lexter's 0.2 off of what Cloud ran. $52.6. Rain in 5 minutes apparently, but that's not gonna matter.
53.2 here for Gwenfro.
0.4 separating Lexter.
Southern saying apparently rain in 5. By then, this session will be just about over.
A car sideways. Who was that? That was Lexter around. So his lap's actually done. Lexter spun in the last corner. Gwenfro. P7 34.5. Everybody's now in there. Now it's where Abolado's called it quits. Here comes Ritzy. Alright. 5 minutes left here to play.
Two drivers still yet to set times.
Still waiting for times from Ritzy. Still waiting for time from Lexter. It's all a bit quiet now on track. Stampede's not coming out just yet. It is getting a bit more cloudy though, as time progresses.
According to King Herbs, there will be no rain in the race.
Dry China, always good China. I don't know what I was going for there.
We'll just chalk it up to sleepiness.
Yeah. Okay. King Herbs, okay. Relax there, buddy.
Ritzy pretty much coming to a near stop there.
Here we
Before
go.
he gets back going.
As he goes uber wide. This is the lap that matters for Ritzy. Remix says mate went to Africa. I think Ritzy went to. I think that Ritzy went to Miami, bro. He went so far away. He's over here. He's all the way in Miami now. 24-3. He's still a 10th off. No, he went to Africa. Okay, okay, whatever. Gwenfro calls it quits for P7. Still waiting to see Cloud.
51.8. He is faster now than Cloud.
51.8. He's gained 4/10 just in the second sector alone.
Remix saying that he was actually
Cloud
up
was
in the
a
first sector too,
Cloud
but
was a
Cloud was
20
at 24.5.
I thought it was 24-2.
I think you're thinking 52.2.
Yeah, probably. Could this be a low 32 as Southern goes third with a 33 flat? Here comes Ritzy, crosses the line. It's a 32 flat.
An unbelievable lap here from Ritzy.
Game on. Remix saying I might have to eat my words. Yeah, probably, buddy. Cause he just
Lone Star crossing the line here. It's an improvement, but he stays P9.
Remix saying I might have to eat my words. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, Ritzy just said, all right, cool. Y'all can all just stick it.
Winfro saying he's saving the other stops for a metaphorical rainy day.
Well, I'm gonna watch his teammate right now, King Herb's. Also gonna watch Southern makes his way through. Actually, Southern's done. That's right. Truly's trying to save his battery. Meanwhile, I think next driver is gonna be King Herb's. Yeah, King Herb's first sector is quicker than Cloud. I think it was quicker than Ritzy's too, if I didn't see that correctly. I don't know if it was or not, but we're gonna see what he's gonna put up here. King Herbs through this second sector. You said that Ritzy was at a 51.8, right? Through two sectors.
That was Ritzy's time, yes.
He's down by 6/10. Okay. So I don't know what Ritzy has in his second sector, but Ritzy's second sector is blinding. Cloud.
Dexter now starting his lap here.
Cloud 24-4. Urban Growth 24-4.
Starting to see a few raindrops coming down now at the end of this qualifying session.
It is raining. Gonna watch Cloud and also Urban Growth. We're also gonna watch Truly. You got Truly, Cloud, and Urban Growth all together. 52-2. Not quicker for Cloud. Urban Growth. 52-4. Also not quicker. 52-5 for Truly. It's looking like it might be Ritzy on pole. King Herbs goes fourth. Lexter, what is he doing?
He's at a 52.5 after two sectors.
Is it gonna be Cloud? Is it gonna be Ritzy? Cloud gets squirrely. Really fighting with his car. Cloud brings it in. Truly rounds the final corner. Stays P3. Urban Growth stays P6. Lexter.
It's now down to Lexter.
It's down to one man. Can Lexter? Can he bounce Ritzy off pole? No, he cannot. It's P7 for the AlphaTauri and Ritzy with a 32 flat by half a second more. Puts the Alfa Romeo on pole. Oh boy. So Ritzy P1, Cloud P2, Truly P3, King Harris P4, Southern P5, Urban Growth P6, Lexter is in P7, Abelardo is P8, Gwenfro P9, and Lone Star rounds out your top 10. Once again, I will be right back. I'm gonna get a sip of water, and it's showtime.
And now is the time for those predictions. Who do you think will come out on top on this race here tonight, chat? Who is your winner going to be? I feel the obvious choice for many might actually be Ritzy after that screamer of a lap. But this is any given race day, and anything can happen here.
I think the winner is going to be your voice crack, good sir. As we are now on the grid, as every member of every crew, like always, is doing their traditional T-pose. Remix, your points will count for Haas either way. So wherever you finish, it'll go to Haas. And wherever Snaky finishes, it'll go to Aston Martin.
Nothing like a good
Or
old
no,
T-pose to
or no,
celebrate the start of another race.
wherever Snaky's team is on. I forgot what team he was on. I think he's Williams. Here we go. You got 5 lights on. And it's lights out and away we go for the Chinese Grand Prix. Looks like a good start by Truly. He's already passed Cloud entering the first corner. Ritzy leads the way. Field serpentine their way through turn 1 and turn 2. Got Killer going super wide. He's dropped back to P19. Got also an Alpine around in the back. Contact!
Seems everyone's got back going here now.
Got a car sideways, I think. Gwenfro's really struggling here early on.
Cloud and Truly having some contact up near the front there.
Everyone's just biting their time. Got a Red Bull going super wide, being very aggressive early on. Got huge wreck! There was contact between Gwenfro and I think that was Corky also. That might have been Clixie actually. I don't know who it was, but that was contact.
And there's some more contact
King
here.
Herbs getting shoved around. Lone Star down to P18. What's happened to him? He's had a moment. Lovely shot of this back straight around China. Everyone working their way through. Truly and Cloud side by side. Boys, y'all have to work together to catch up to that speed demon of Ritzy, who's already after lap 1, almost 2 seconds clear of the field. Field works their way through this lap as this like Remix comes in along with Killer AU. Wondering if Remix got caught up in that little scuffle early on. Yellow flag once again in the back. Who's that? Oh, Killer's called it quits. I think I saw that, Remix. I will look at the stream later on, but I did catch that. Meanwhile, Ritzy has just absolutely set sail. He is almost 3 seconds clear of Truly. Truly fighting with Cloud, who's fighting with Abelardo, who's fighting with Lexter. You know, for Snaky saying that Ritzy was slow, he's not showing the pace right now in that Williams. Then again,
but one thing we can definitely say about him and Williams is he is up 10 spots.
That is true. As he's got Urban Growth behind him, though. Urban Growth has Southern behind him. King Herbs is sitting right now in P9. Is under pressure though from Click. See who's gonna look for a move. Thinks better of it himself. Yellow flag in the back.
Cloud and Truly went wide in that final turn, and to second to last turn, Abu Lotto snuck his way through.
Avalado says, thank you very much, boys. I will just take my P2 and be on my way. Meanwhile, Truly now
And
falling back to P5.
Lexter sneaking his way through there as well.
Ritzy's lead is 4.5 seconds. We're not going to focus on him for much this race, looks like, because he's just going to be driving away the entire time.
Meanwhile, Cloud and Truly keep going at it with each other here.
Boys over here for P4 keep going at it. This is what's costing them some time. This is what costing them time between Ritzy and themselves. Truly's already out of battery. Truly's out of battery on lap 3, bro. It's lap 3. How are you at 10% already?
Man, drain the battery just
Lexter had a massive moment. Trying to stay with Abelardo here. And now the informable DRS train has formed from P2 to about P12. Not much separate these guys right now from second all the way to 12th. As they all form the annual Chinese conga line. As they will now start to serpentine their way around this main straight. Yellow flag in the third sector once again. Who's that around? That's Lone Star Jeep. That's Lone Star around once again. Gets back going though. Remix up to P16 in his quote-unquote Haas.
Snakey saying he wasn't calling Ritzy slow.
You sure about that, buddy?
Well, let me look back up on the chat. I don't know if that was him or not.
You said 33.5 only for Ritzy. That means that quote-unquote he's going slow. In my book. In my book, saying only only a lap time for somebody, that's a bit slow. That's you calling him out. And right now, he dusting you. You, sir.
To be fair.
No, ready? You, sir. Right here on the screen. You, sir. The man currently in P1 is dusting you. By quite a hefty margin, too. The man's gained 2 seconds per lap.
To be fair, though, he's dusting everybody.
Yellow flag. Sector 2. That's Lone Star. Once again. Spawn around. So Mercedes. Struggling. Early on.
Meanwhile, Lexter has caught up with Abelardo here.
Snakey, how are you typing and racing at the same time? Get out of AI. Truly hounding the Abelardo, really holding up this lot of Lexter, Cloud, and Truly. These boys are begging to get past Abelardo right now because Ritzy has absolutely said later. So we'll catch Ritzy later on in the race, guys. We're going to focus here on the rest of the field. As Abelardo almost spun his car around. Nice catch by the Red Bull driver himself. You mentioned your dark horse Gwenfer. He's back in P14. He was involved in that. I mean, he did get tagged early on. Meanwhile, my dark horse is sitting right now in P7. Just holding steady behind Snakey here. Looks like that's Cloud gonna eyeing a move right now on Lexter. Lexter, you're only allowed one move down a straight, buddy. Here comes Cloud down the inside. Will he go for the move? He sticks his wing. He sticks it in there. Yellow flag again. That's Lone Star yet again around. Lexter fights back though. Keeps that P3 away from Cloud. This is helping out Ritzy a lot.
Really running out of battery here.
This is helping out Ritzy a treat because while Ritzy's up ahead, the driver currently in the first in the standings is P4. You have the driver who's sitting second out of this Grand Prix early on. Yellow flags once again. Cleared away though. If you're Lexer here, you are begging to get past as Abulado has two massive moments in the left-hander.
Still hanging on here right now.
Really fighting his Red Bull around these. Oh, he's fighting it again! The Red Bull struggling for grip here early on. We're only on lap 6.
And the gap just keeps getting wider for Ritzy now.
Yeah, we're not gonna mention him anymore this race until like that last lap.
Or until maybe he like pits or something.
Right now, the focus right now is for P2 because right now Abulado is struggling to find any grip on this set of medium compound tires. He has the Lexter and Cloud right behind him. Truly's close behind too. So is Snaky. He's back in DRS range, and the DRS train has formed up once again from about 2nd to about 8th now. Although King Herbs
meanwhile
is really
Truly
in. Good.
And meanwhile Truly is still struggling to get any sort of battery.
Here comes Lexter on Abulado. Gives him a little bit of a bump. Says, hey mate, I'm here. Abulado with this left-hander. Much better that time around. Has to really baby this car around these corners. Works their way through sectors 2 as you saw Ritzy in the background of the shot just now, roaring down the main back straight. Abulado now on. Here comes Lexter now. Is he gonna go for the move here? Southern gets past Urban Growth for P7. Contact between Truly and Cloud! I just caught that too! Truly has no wing!
That's bringing Snaky back in there. Snaky takes P5!
Truly had no wing! He broke his wing with that contact! Looks like that's Urban and that's King Herbs in! Truly caught speeding! And he's called it quits! King Herbs caught speeding! King Herbs has no wing as well!
Meanwhile, Snaky now trying to keep up with Cloud here.
Urban Growth
get in on that DRS train.
Comes out of the pits on the hards. Now I'm wondering if Cloud might have some damage to his rear diffuser or his rear wing, because that was a pretty hefty hit to knock off a piece of front wing.
There might be some slight damage there.
If there is, it's not affecting him that much, as here we go again with Abulado and Lexter. Lexter getting a horrible exit. Not gonna make the move this time on this go around, that's for sure.
Definitely not there.
I'll tell you what, for a car that's fighting grip, right? He's doing very well. Meanwhile, Lone Star spinning around again, has to get going though, because here comes Ritzy behind him. Full safety car.
And that is a full
That's
safety
OC.
car. His remix is out.
OC's in the wall. Well then, this changes everything. As glitchy. Naughty naughty. Naughty naughty boy, no, you naughty boy. No, naughty naughty. Remix says I wasn't even on the throttle. That's what this track does. This track can really be a you know what. Corky, naughty naughty. Come on,
Everyone
guys.
getting caught speeding in that pit lane. This is a big help for everyone that was behind Ritzy.
It does help because as Ritzy just said right now in Discord, 13-second lead gone. Ritzy brings his Alfa Romeo in the pits. Is gonna be stuck behind Lone Star though. Ritzy, no sir, no sir.
But what in the world?
Ritzy, no sir. Gwenfro, clip it please. Ritzy, that was a big no-no, sir.
Meanwhile, a lot of others deciding to pit, and he's staying out. Look at the jump that Andy had in positions, up 16 spots.
But I think that he still has to pit, doesn't he?
He will still have to pit, because he did not stop there. Currently on 9-lap old hards. Those will have a slight advantage on the restart, though, considering they are already worn. It'll be easier to warm up.
So unfortunately, Lone Star's not one lap down due to that little mishap. Lone Star now is back on the lead lap.
Now, just has to stay with the safety car.
Nope.
Or
And
is-
let him
Nope.
let him go through, I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Get him back onto that lead lap, that would make sense.
Yep. Alright, so your rundown. So through the field here on lap 10 of China, you have Ritzy currently in P1, Andy P2, Abelardo sits P3, followed by Cloud, Lexter, Southern, Snaky, Urban Growth, Click C, and Awesome Goose. Rounds out your top 10, followed by Glitchy, Gwenfro, Corky, King Herbs, Xander, and Lone Star. Jeep Guy rounds out your remaining 16 drivers. We have lost Remix, Truly, and Killer. Once again, guys, this is TRL. I will be right back.
Well, just waiting for this safety car to come in eventually once everyone catches up. King Herb's back in the pits once. King Herb's in the pits once again. Xander getting hit with a 3-second time penalty. Naughty, naughty. Well, we'll see if this safety car comes in now or if it'll go around one more time here shortly. We'll get some sort of notification about it. And it looks like we will go around one more time here. Seems we are, it's like waiting for a few to still catch up here. As Glitchy goes back into the pits.
Welcome back to TRL. I'm back. Sorry about that squish. Back right in time too, apparently.
And safety car is now coming in this lap.
Safety car's gonna come in this
Well,
lap.
just,
The question is now, when does Ritzy put the pedal to the metal?
When does he push it to the limit?
Okay, stop.
What, did you want me to go with going the distance?
I don't know. Anyway. Moving on. Here we go.
Slowly but surely.
16 laps of racing left here in China.
Good old China. It is very overcast now. If you see like those clouds up there.
It is a bit overcast, but there was no rain on the forecast. So yeah. Richie's gone. He just caught Andy mega sleeping.
The great snooze catch right there.
Yellow flags in the back. That's Lone Star who got spun around. Glitchy goes wide. Xander's running P14. King Herb's sitting in 13th. Everybody serpentines their way through this death trap of a track.
And already we are seeing a few gaps form.
Gaps forming already. Our leader's already 2 seconds clear. King Herbs gets past Corgi for P12. Yellow flag in the second sector. Who's that? That's Lexter and Snaky around! They're both out of the Grand Prix!
And that's Sander going sideways as well!
Nearly collects his teammate!
And that is safety car number 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Oh god, you had to bring that up.
Yes.
Why?
Yes, I did.
Why? Why?
Because Trigger.
Trigger! Trigger! Trigger!
And Andy taking this time to go into the pits, a smart thing to do now.
Yeah, it is a smart thing to do considering how you know he had you know what was it? Like hardly any
12 lap bold, 13 lap bold hards.
yeah, something like that.
Going over to the medium tire now.
While this is going on, I'm gonna order me some food. Cause your boy
Still haven't done that yet?
Nah, fam.
Ooh, Alpalado really hitting the brakes hard there.
I haven't eaten yet, bro. Leave me alone, bro.
I thought you already had that done.
Leave me alone.
Like,
Chat, tell him leave me alone. Tell him, chat, leave me alone.
we'll see if that happens.
Leave me alone, cuh. Oh, speaking of this, so let's turn our attention away from this race right now, real quick, alright? Did you watch the KSI fight?
I did not. I had no idea he even fought.
He fought Joe Fournier. Did you hear what happened?
No.
He knocked him out. However, he only knocked him out because of a quote-unquote accidental elbow. So even though KSI knocked him out, it was ruled a no contest. Yep, they reviewed it and were like, no contest. Which makes sense because it was accidental.
Well, yeah, with an elbow.
Yeah. Also, speaking of real life F1, and hopefully this, help, this puts a smile on everyone's face. There's a big rumor that might actually happen. It's under review.
Uh-huh.
We might be seeing the return of Malaysia. I don't know when.
Oh.
I don't know when it's gonna happen, but it's being discussed. There's also a rumor. There's 2 more rumors also. There's a brand new track in Hungary that is being looked at. It just got built too.
Ooh.
There's also a rumor of the return of Kialami, South Africa.
Ooh. Very interesting add to the schedule if it does happen.
Again, it's being looked at. Hopefully it happens, because I want to see that happen. I miss racing around Malaysia, bro. 2020... When was the last Malaysian Grand Prix? Like,
I want to say it was 2019 or 2020.
Let's find out. When was the last? Last one was 2017.
Oh, wow.
2017 was the last Malaysian Grand Prix. And then Get this, the last F1 race at Kialami. Ready for this?
Go for it.
1993. I wasn't even born, bro.
My guy, I don't even think we were
well,
like.
well, some of us in this league were born around that time frame. Some of them, I know that. I have a feeling. But yeah, 1993 was the last race for Kialami. As we have a end plate flying, not sure who lost an end plate. I think I see the culprit right now. It looks like it's Andy in the Alpine. Klondike in Southern. Ritzy waiting to bide his time. When does he go? When does Ritzy go? Now, I I saw this happening in WRL, where the leader waited way too long. He goes, but it didn't really catch Abulato sleeping that much.
It did catch Cloud a bit though, as he is losing some time there.
It did, but Abulato's putting the pressure here on Ritzy, but for how long can he put the pressure on? That is the question to ask. As things stand, Alfa Romeo are going to gain a heap of points on McLaren today.
And looking at the chat here, King Herb's electing for Formula One to get rid of Monaco.
I can agree with that statement very well.
And because the cars are too big for it now.
It is. They're freaking massive.
Yeah, so I think that's been going since what, the 50s?
Yeah, but the cars were much smaller than what they are now. They're tanks now,
nowadays,
bro.
it's as Abulado spins it.
Abulato around from P2. Spins it back around. This puts Cloud back up to P2. So McLaren are going to get some points now, looks like. Yellow flag once again. That might be another car around. It is.
And that's Lone Star spinning.
Still green. Still racing around here. Side by side between Goose and Corky for P6. Good drive today by Goose. Down the inside. Sticks back behind the Williams driver. But here comes the AlphaTauri. Looks around the outside. Goose side by side with Corky. Round the outside. Ballsy move for the two of them. They touch.
And Corky sideways.
That's a reset the track as well. Corky, you cannot be doing that in this league, buddy. Meanwhile, this puts Urban Growth up to 4th.
Got the two Ferraris helping each other out in 7th and 8th right now, too.
The two Ferrari boys are nose to tail.
Xander wondering what is happening with Glitchy.
Xander, if you have a video of it, buddy, post it in the incidents. Looks like Urban's struggling to find pace here early on this hard compound tires. He's sitting in 4th though, so not the worst day for his debut. As you got, looks like Gwen throwing King Herb's actually down the inside of Goose. Takes away P6
and he makes
from the AlphaTauri. Put the Ferrari up to P6. Sets his sights now for Clixie and Urban Growth.
Meanwhile, Abulado was hit with a 3-second time penalty down in P10.
Abulado sitting in 10th is, I mean, it won't really hurt him that much as far as spots go, because he will still be technically in P10. If everybody else finishes this Grand Prix, everybody scores points. 10 and a half laps left here as Andy sets the best lap of the race with a 35.4 on the medium compound tires. But right now the focus is the battle for P4 between 4 different, make that 5 different drivers. Urban Growth struggling here with the hard compound tires. Has clicks in the Red Bull breathing down his neck. Also has King Herbs, Goose, and Gwenfro. All nose to tail.
Meanwhile, looking at the batteries here, Goose and Gwenfro definitely having the advantage on the
Here comes King
ERS.
Herbs down the inside of Clixie. They bang wheels, and King Herb says, "Get out of my way, good sir. Give me that P5."
Meanwhile, we have Goose now in the DRS,
Goose
right over the
now,
back of Clixie.
double
Clixie doesn't have any
slipstream.
battery.
Here comes Goose. Looks down the inside as well of King Herbs. Goes in very deep. They bang wheels. They bang wheels again.
And they're still side by side. Goose gets sent wide there.
That was some hard racing from the boys right there for P5. Meanwhile, Urban Gross watching this in his mirror saying, "Y'all keep fighting, please. I want this. I want to keep my P4."
And does Clixie sideways.
Clixie's around, gets passed by Gwenfro. Gwenfro up to P7. Ferrari's coming back in this race ever so slowly. King Herbs now looking at the rear diffuser of the Alfa Romeo of Urban Growth, who, like I said already before, is struggling on this hard set of tires. King Herbs on the mediums. They will not last probably the entire way. He's been on those for 6 laps, so he's gonna have to do some tire saving here. He's staying behind for now. Meanwhile, Goose is chilling in 6th behind these two. Southern is
trying to catch up to get within 1 second.
King Herbs just working his way, trying to get past. Urban Growth will have DRS, activates the battery. Here comes the Ferrari driver once again. Will we see the same move that he pulled on Goose? Just now turns on DRS. They're not sure why he waited that long to turn it on, but here he comes! That was close to being just tires flying, wings flying for both drivers. Now, King Herbs gets a good exit out of the corner. Here comes that Ferrari driver of King Herbs. Goes down the inside, peaks. Urban Growth left the spot open. King Herbs rides the curb. Urban Growth. This is good racing between these two. Really good racing still side by side. King Herbs takes it away from Urban Growth. But here comes Alfa Romeo fighting back down the inside. Urban Growth, the switchback. Will it work here? It looks like it is. Here he comes again. Here, round the outside by the Ferrari man of King Herbs. But here comes Urban Growth.
Still fighting for it. He's sideways.
They touch! Urban Growth's in the wall! No! He gets out of the wall!
He saves it! Gwenfro goes through!
How did Urban Growth keep it off the wall? But regardless of what happened, that was some intense racing between the pair of them!
And now we have Goose within the second gap here.
Might not have
do the same eventually.
He won't have DRS though. Goose has no DRS in this situation. Urban Growth. Does he have damage? I don't think he does. That was an intense save.
Just sneaks by that barrier corner and is still fighting on, heading into lap 22 here.
Here comes Goose.
Or 21, sorry.
Goose catching the back of King Herbs. I'm wondering if King Herbs' tires are going off a bit because that AlphaTauri driver is gaining right now on that Ferrari.
There's a good chance those tires are going.
Are we about to see an intense battle? Here we go. Are we about to see part 2? King Herbs and Goose. Goose still within that 1 second gap. Falls out of it for now. Meanwhile, Clixie got past Urban. Urban's down to P8. Urban is struggling to find pace. Urban's down to P9.
The Red Bulls now slowly clawing their way up this
King Herb's trying to
up the
break.
standings here.
King Herb's trying to break that slipstream. The top 3 stay as is. Richie still leads as we enter lap 22. Yellow flag in this first sector. That's Xander who's gone around. Is he in the way?
Urban Growth got hit with 10 seconds.
Urban Growth brings his Alfa Romeo in the pits, and that might be him done with this Grand Prix, I think.
Gets hit with that 10-second time penalty for corner cutting.
Brings the Alfa Romeo in the pits. Xander's called it quits on track. Xander, you can't do that, bro. I said it already once to you before. You can't retire on track, dude.
Meanwhile, we turn our attention now to Clixie as he is getting close to Gwenfro here. Using up as much battery as he can. He is running on pretty much nothing there.
King Herbs is sitting right now in P4, has pulled away from Goose for now. 2 seconds clear of him. Top 3, still Ritzy, Cloud, and Southern. Also, you know what? I'm not gonna jinx it. Nah, I won't jinx it yet. Just gonna watch him real quick.
That might be jinxing in its own right.
Just gonna watch him real quick. You know, deserves to be watched for a bit.
Fair enough.
Side by side. For P10.
Runs out of battery. They're both out of it.
Gives way. Question is, how many laps? Okay, so if Lone Star can stay behind Corky here, Lone Star will take P10. Just has to stay within that 3 second gap. Urban Growth comes back in the pits. This might be his race done now.
As Clixie's hit with 3-second time penalty.
Yep, Urban Growth called it quits. Urban, my dark horse, why?
Looking over the rest of this, Abulado slowly catching his teammate here. Got yellow flags all over the place now.
Yep, it's just for Urban Growth's retirement. He did retire in the pits, but this game likes to take out the AI on track.
I never understood that.
Hopefully in the next game, that whenever you retire in the pits, your car will just stay in the pits. Hopefully. Yellow flag in sector
Oh, here's hoping for that.
1. Nothing happened. Not sure why that was out. 12 drivers remain here. Yellow flag in sector 1 and 2. Why does it keep showing up when there's nothing going on? Game.
I think it's just with the driver slowing down. I think Abulado had an illegal overtake and had to give the position back.
The only fight right now is between the two Red Bulls. Or close-ish fight.
Relatively speaking, yeah.
Everybody else seems to be pretty gapped. So as we enter lap 25, don't forget, I will just do this right now. Don't forget, guys, our partners over at Excite Racing League, the Monday Night Racing Boys, take to the, oh boy, to the streets of Jeddah.
Oh.
So tune in for that stream in 2 days' time.
Abulado going around the outside.
A lot of get some move done. So, guys, like I mentioned, Excite Racing League, my Monday Night Racing Boys take on the streets of Jeddah. Tune in for that stream in 2 days' time, where, well, hopefully I will stream it. I've been kind of wore out lately, but yes, they will be at Jeddah. The Saturday night for Excite Racing League will also be at Jeddah. And then for Top Speed Racing League, we are off to the Miami GP. So tune in to see who reigns supreme in Miami and who reigns supreme in Jeddah for both leagues. Swish, any predictions on who might we see for XRL and also TRL next week's? In the next rounds?
The way things are going now, Ritzy is looking like a new candidate to start really raking in the top of TRL here. As for XRL, my main prediction is, especially when it comes to Saturday, a lot of people will crash out.
Who is your predictions? What about who do you think will have? Who do you think will struggle for XRL around Jeddah? As the two as the Red Bulls still fight side by side. Who else besides you, Dingo Nut?
I mean, I wouldn't really want to call out anyone specifically. I feel like a lot will struggle.
You can say me, because I don't like Jeddah.
I feel like you'll have your moments.
Even though
I think you'll be all right.
Even though I'm entering the race, even though I'm entering the Grand Prix with like a 60-point advantage in the standings.
It's like I think you'll be all right.
Yeah, in case y'all missed that, there was no stream for XRL this morning, but they raced around Spain this morning, and yeah, I got my first pole today of the season, in pretty dominant fashion, I should say. Squish can vouch for this.
I still am in awe of the flying lap that you set in that third qualifying session.
It was so smooth, wasn't it? It felt very smooth.
It felt like an artist composing a symphony.
Yeah, I had to put everything out there. It's like I said, like I was running 42-40 wings, and my setup was just for like the first, not like the second and third sector, as these guys still fighting side by side, and it's just brought in Andy in the mix.
Two laps to go here. Not much has changed.
Once again, the Red Bulls are fighting side by side.
But Andy has now gotten into the mix here and says, hello.
It's nice
I
seeing
see you two are fighting. Can I join?
I know, right? It's nice seeing teammates fight side by side and not crash into each other. You know, the number one rule of F1, don't crash into your teammate. However, the biggest loser out of this scenario is Quixie, as he's fallen now back some 8/10 behind this battle. Meanwhile, as this happens, I think that's time to go to. I think that it's time to go to Ritzy, right? Or should we stay here for a bit?
Well, this is a bit more interesting. We can go to Ritzy as he's doing the last straightaway for his Sunday drive.
White flag is out for Ritzy, the final lap here in China. Meanwhile, Andy and Abelardo fighting side by side for P7. Randy says, "Thank you very much, good sir. I will take my DRS and my medium set and my medium compound tires and be on my way."
And now may not have the time to try to catch Gwenfro here in P6.
No. All right. Looks like it'll be close. It'll be close between those two. Meanwhile, we turn our attention now to the man that has been pretty much untouchable today. Set a 32 flat in qualifying, which we're not sure where that came from. Has pretty much led from start to finish. The championship fight is on. As we enter round 9 of 16. It's anybody's game. 3 cars, 3 drivers, 2 constructors. But today, it's Alfa Romeo. Ritzy wins the Chinese Grand Prix. Cloud finishes second for McLaren. Southern for Aston Martin, back on the podium.
Meanwhile, Andy getting past Gwenfro here.
King Herbs takes 4th. Goose. Brilliant drive by Goose from P17 to P5. Andy comes around the final corner to finish P6. Gwenfro P7. Abelardo P8. Clixie P9. And I can now say this officially. After a struggle, he got into Q3, right? For 2 races in a row. I will say this now. Lone Star, down the back straight for the final time. Enters the hairpin. Lone Star Jeep guy. Let me be the first to say this. Welcome to the top 10. Your first ever in TRL. And Corky will finish P11. And that's your Chinese Grand Prix done.
And we'll see here our driver of the day.
And
that is going to be Andy.
Andy gets driver of the day for the Alpine. Yeah. Title race is on now. Looking through the order right now. Ritzy, I mentioned dominating today, takes P1 from Cloud sitting in P2. Southern for Aston Martin takes P3, followed by a brilliant drive by King Herbs. Started 4th, finished 4th. Brilliant drives from Goose and Andy from the back of the grid, getting 5th and 6th. Gwenfro, P7. Abelardo finished where he started, P8. Clixie, P9. Lone Star, P10. Corky, P12. Corky, P11. Glitchy, P12. There we go. Lord have mercy. We did lose Urban Growth, Xander, Lexter, Snakey, Remix, Truly, and Killer. So this title race is anybody's now. Squish. I'll let you take over real quick as my food is here.
Fair enough. Finally deciding to actually eat for once. But what a day for some of these teams here. Ferrari getting a ton of points here today, a P4 and P7 finish. Red Bull P8 and P9. Mercedes, after struggling all season long, getting into the top 10. Well done from Lone Star here. Aston Martin sitting in the podium here with Southern. Another fantastic race there. And just what a time it was. We've seen some fights and we've seen some outright domination. A good mix of just about everything you need in a good Formula One league race.
Food has been acquired. I had to get, yeah. Anyway, yeah. GG's to everybody. I would interview, but they were all leaving. So yeah. Squish, any final words again? Before we end off the stream, saying so long to everybody.
I mean,
As you say your final
for
words.
those that stuck around, you've seen some incredible fights here. This is what TRL is all about.
Very true, and there's more fights coming your way. Like I mentioned, we're off to Miami for the Miami GP. Also, like I mentioned, don't forget, Excite Racing League, our partners, they will be taking on the streets of Jeddah, starting with Monday Night Racing. Can Reckless, who leads the way in the standings, continue to extend that gap between himself and Solo? Meanwhile, for Saturdays, can I extend my gap from about 60 points entering Jeddah? Meanwhile, for Top Speed Racing League, can Cloud keep Ritzy at bay? All that to be answered next week next week for TRL. Until then, this has been your boy XRO Cruz, joined by Sir Squish, saying peace, so long. We'll see y'all for Excite Racing League and Top Speed Racing League next week. Take care, guys.